joined once again by Bucky from the Tuesday Night Sports Show. Now, Bucky, let's start with the Edmonton Oilers. Some big moves by them.
Are they big moves, though?
Are they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're hurting right now. They have 3 of their top 6 D-men out. They are a team that are weak in the back end to begin with. And then you take 3 of those top 6 guys out. So you're having guys that are 6 and 5 and 6 getting top 4 minutes. You have guys 7 and 8 that shouldn't even be in the lineup. They're getting big minutes. So you have players playing in situations where they shouldn't be playing. So they get really handed to them by San Jose in the weekend. They go out, make some lateral moves and just depth moves. And they move their actually fifth in producing points on that team for a journeyman defenseman that can't even get in the Chicago lineup. Honestly, Oilers fans, if Chiarelli is still your GM by the trading deadline, there is something wrong in Edmonton.
Well, let's summarize those trades in a little bit. The Oilers acquired Alex Petrovic from the Florida Panthers in exchange for Chris Weidman and a 3rd-round pick. And they went on later on that day to pick up Brandon Manning and Robin Norrell for Drake Caggiula and Jason Garrison. For most people, they mostly remember Brandon Manning for fracturing Connor McDavid's clavicle. They did reach out to each other. They said they're on good terms. But with those moves, that kind of leaves kind of a looming question for those 2 guys that have been in trade talks a little bit, or at least with Oilers fans, with Matt Benning and Milan Lucic.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really going to. Milan's probably a guy that's his contract is so big. Somebody's going to have to take a big bite out of that. He's an aging guy. The cliff for him is dropping very sharply here. Benning is another guy that's just another defenseman. A guy that'll get you a few minutes but can't get you more than 15 in a given game. Milan is a guy that probably shouldn't get more than 15 minutes a game. So you right now, what are you going to get in trade? The Oilers have depth problems in the back end. They don't have a 3rd-line center, and they have problems on both sides, left and right wing. They have to address that, and trading those 2, I don't think is going to address it.
So let's head from the NHL to the junior scene now. And with the World Juniors going on, there's one name that people from Lloydminster may be very familiar with, Ty Smith, and he's been putting on a pretty good show there in Vancouver. Yeah,
I think a lot of people, we don't get to see him play. He plays out in Spokane last 2 seasons, season number 2 for him in Spokane. But when you see him play, you see that kid that played midget AAA here and developed into a great player. And he sees the ice so well. He's exactly what the modern day defenseman is like in the NHL. Not overly big, skates well, skates out of problems, and he moves the puck well. He has his head up all the time. That first pass he makes is always a good one. So you see that throughout the World Juniors. And it's good to see because you know what? He's going to be a heck of a defenseman for the Devils.
3 games in for Ty Smith, 3 assists, and a big game for him tonight against the Russians. He got player of the game against the Czech Republic, but what's kind of the big expectation for tonight's game and for the rest of the tournament?
Well, Russia had a scare against the Swiss. You know, they were down 3-1. They came back and they kind of woke up, and you kind of wondered how Russia was going to respond from that. They were down 3-1, and you woke up the bear, I guess you can say that. And now Russia is going to be a dangerous team. Canada has had some challenges. They had a challenge against the Swiss, but really since then they haven't really done that much to make you sit back and go, yeah, they're really good. I'm not really a big fan of that 14-0 game against the Danes. I don't think it does anything good for that team. I don't think it does anything good for the World Junior Championships. I just don't like the way that we kind of added on to it. I'm kind of old school, and I think the old hockey gods can kind of bite you in the butt if you don't be careful. So it's a big game tonight against Russia. I still think Canada will win, but it will be a squeaker. It'll be an exciting one.
Well, the Canadians are coming off a tough game against the Czechs, and I think most of us remember some of the games that Canada's faced off against Russia, including that 5-second left Jordan Eberle goal.